What's up, everybody? I wanted to share with you my new and improved submachine gun PvP build. First one I had is pretty solid, but I've got a lot more upgrades since then, so I wanted to give you the version 2 upgrade. And it's based on the same build, a Vector, combined with Safeguard, Clutch Gloves, Strain Talent on the Vector, and Berserk on the chest. You want to have as much health as possible. And also, a lot of armor as well works great. More health and armor, the better. But you always want to focus on health prior than armor, and then get armor where you can. So first, let's start out with the gun. We got a Vector. It's got strained. It's a 45, and it's got magazine capacity on this one. 44 rounds. Preferably, I would have a 9mm Vector with strained and Allegro. That would be my favorite. That would put me at about the same rounds, but faster rate of fire. 9mm Vector and 45s, they roll the same damage range. Unless you're looking at the Vector that has no stock. That one has like 19 rounds and has quite a bit more damage, but it's just not enough bullets for me. So best in slot, in my opinion, is the 9mm Vector with a stock, with strained and Allegro on it. You can also roll extended mag and you'll have like 53 shots or something like that on the 9. But I just don't have a proper 9mm for that. The downside about the 9mm is that when you put an extended mag on it, it actually drops your crit chance by -5. So you need to have the crit chance to support it. The 45 Vector does not actually do that. It reduces your stability. Now, as far as mods go on my Vector, I'm running 12 crit chance on the scope, 10 crit chance on the laser pointer, and 20 crit chance on the suppressor. Originally, I didn't use this and made up for the crit chance on my gear because I didn't like the rate of fire drop, but it is definitely worth the rate of fire drop to not have to run crit chance on your gear to make up for this 20. Let's see here. As far as my secondary go, I mean, this is in my secondary slot, but I use that as my primary. I use a chatterbox if I'm doing pure PvP, and that is because of the blabbermouth talent. While holstered, reloading your weapon within 5 seconds after a kill gives you 20% rate of fire for 10 seconds. It's really amazing. I love it. If I'm not PvPing primarily, like if I'm just in the dark zone clearing landmarks, I'll use an assault rifle or a sniper rifle. Usually I run an assault rifle, like a Mark 16 or a CTAR. I still don't have a really good P416, but I found the Mark 16's pretty nice for PvE. As far as my sidearm, I never really shoot this, but if you don't have protected reload on one of your pieces of gear, I really, really recommend this. A lot of people don't understand when it says while equipped, that means it just is equipped on you. You don't have to have this out. But when you reload, you get 10% armor. And I have 154,000 armor, so I'm getting 15,400 armor when I reload. And in PvP with the Vector build, you're going to be reloading a lot. You'll see it in your little armor bar as a little bonus blue. So it's a great talent to have. So I guess we'll just start with the mask here. Actually, if you don't know, strained, this is really important. 10% crit damage is gained for every 5% of your armor that's depleted. I might as well explain how this build works and go over those talents first. But basically what you want to do is shoot people, and they will shoot you back. And as they shoot you, your damage is going to increase. This also increases with the Berserk talent that you get on your chest. 10% weapon damage for every 10% of max armor depleted. So when you have no armor, you're going to be getting 100% damage and 200% crit damage. This is why you don't actually need crit damage on this build. You just want to focus on high crit chance. Once that happens, you're going to be using your crazy high rate of fire and crit chance to proc this talent called Clutch. They restore 15% of your health and 2% of your armor every single time you crit. And that's really awesome. There's another talent on your backpack that's called Safeguard. Killing a target grants 150% bonus to repairing and healing effects for 20 seconds. So after you kill your first NPC or player, you now have a 20% bonus to your clutch, restoring your health and armor. So you're now getting 37.5% of your health back and 5% of your armor back every single crit. And this gun shoots at an insane amount of rate of fire, and you're critting non-stop. Well, not every time's a crit, but 60% of the time you should be critting. So your health actually, as long as you have really good aim and they don't have a one-shot build, you shouldn't die. If there's multiple of them shooting at you at once, you might not be able to sustain the damage. But as long as you have really good shots, you should be able to out-heal them. And as long as you've got better gear and damage than them, you will be able to kill them if they also have really good shots. The other talent I have is Patience. It's not as important, but it pairs really well with Safeguard. And when you're in cover for 3 seconds, armor starts repairing by 5% every second, which actually turns into 12.5% with Safeguard. So that's really nice. It's not as important when you know you're running around and you're not in cover, but for those times that you can be in cover, it's great. Now, let me just go through all the gear, and I've already showed you those talents and how the build works, but I want to show you the roles that I have and the set pieces that I use. It's really important to have one piece of Sokolov gear. This gives you 10% submachine gun damage. My best slot right now is my mask. It's not the greatest mask, but it's okay. It's got health on it, which you definitely want to have. And I do have 2.5% crit chance rolled onto this. If you're running a 9mm Vector, you're going to need more than that. I think you need 8.5 crit chance. So you're going to need a holster with surgical. We'll get to that later, but since I'm not running the 9, I only needed a little bit of crit chance, and this is where it makes up for it. If you look at my gear right now, I am running 59% crit chance, so I'm 1 away from cap. So I would actually prefer to have 3.5 on my mask, but it just won't let me go any higher than 2.5. And that's one of my red talents. If I had the choice, it would actually have no reds, and I would use mods to make up for this, because you can get way better mods than 2.5 crit chance. Backpack, like I said earlier, Safeguard for the talent, really important, is vital for your other talent. This is 20% health. And as far as attributes go, my choice is high health, high weapon damage. Really important. You can't get weapon damage other than your backpack, gloves, and chest. So I think it's very important to get that there. And this is the best chest I've been able to find. I rolled the Vital onto this, and it's pretty solid. It also, I'm wearing 2 pieces of Virality, so I'm getting accuracy and headshot damage, so it's not a horrible 2-piece bonus. As far as mask talent goes, I don't have any great mask talents. The one I would probably prefer to use for PvP would be Centered. Headshot kills grant status effect immunity for 10 seconds. That'd be nice. Dialed in is kind of nice if you just want some more stability. And those are the best ones I've seen. You can get health on kill. A lot of people run health on kill. That's what I have on mine right now. So that's whatever. Now, as far as a chest goes, I recommend the Fenris chest, and that's because you can get 2 talents on it. It's the only chest that runs 2 talents. And I've actually got a better chest than this. They just keep screwing me over on it. You want Berserk as your talent, Vital as your second talent, high health, and weapon damage. I actually have a better chest. This headshot damage is a wasted red slot. I could have a red mod and have way more damage than 5% weapon damage. Which brings me to this chest. A little bit less health, but it only has 1 red. This was letting me recalibrate to 4.5 weapon damage at a cap. But both times I tried to put it on there, it just gave me random shit. Like, first time it gave me headshot damage instead of my weapon damage. Then I rolled it again, and it gave me crit damage instead of weapon damage. Now it costs like 100 and something ceramics to re-roll, and I'm not sure if it's ever going to give it to me. However, even though I'll lose 1,000 health here, I will gain 4.5 weapon damage, which is actually losing 2, but it will let me bring a red mod slot into the mix, and I have way better red mod slots that can make up for quite a bit more damage than that 2%. Now, the next piece of gear would be there's another option here. There is another option. It's the Alps chest. You can get like 25,000 plus health on this chest and get a nice weapon damage roll. So I haven't found one myself, but it is possible to get an Alps chest that has enough health that it outweighs the benefits of the vital talent on 20% health. Keep that in mind. Keep your eyes out for a really good Alps chest with weapon damage and health and berserk. But I haven't found one. As far as gloves go, I think Murakami is the best in slot, and that's because it gives you 8% health. You need to have a Murakami somewhere in your build, I think, if you're going for max health. 8% health is a great one piece, and they can roll a nice split with submachine gun damage and health and clutch. Clutch is most important to have on your gloves, and then I like to have this submachine gun damage and health roll. I haven't found any other gloves that rolled quite as good as Murakami, and if they did, I would need to make up for the Murakami somewhere else. So I think this is pretty much best in slot right there. And then holster. Preferably, you would get an Araldi holster like this with huge health and surgical. That way you wouldn't need any reds on your mask. You could run the 9mm Vector, have the larger magazine with what's it called, the rate of fire bonus, Allegro, and that would be perfect. But I haven't been able to find one. I know it does roll. I have a friend that has one. His has like 14 or 15,000 health and surgical, but I just haven't got that lucky. Both the ones I've found that have high health roll these circle triangle talents, so I can't roll surgical onto it. I've also never found one higher than this much health myself, so I can't even roll this higher at the moment. But really solid holster, and it pairs with the other piece that I have on my backpack. And then knee pads. I run the Gila guards. Some people might call these Gila guards, but these are actually the Gila guards. And these are nice. They give you a 5% total armor boost, and they have a lot of blues on them. I've got high health, 9 health, patience, which is a great talent, and then 2 blue mod slots. I don't actually need these blue mod slots, so I could wear something like Sokolov knee pads if I was going to wear a different mask, but I think this is great. Some people, when they do this build, they don't focus on armor at all, but I don't think that's a very good idea. You definitely want to have as much health as possible, because once you drop your armor down with this build, you want to just maintain your health with no armor. But having a good armor and health pool, I think, is better than just having health and no armor. I have a total of 280,000 health right now, just shy of 280,000 health. And it's really nice. It's a lot of health, and it usually outguns people unless I miss my shots or they're using a one-shot sniper build on me, which I will cover here what to do if that happens. Now, different choices of gear. There's another option here. Murakami can be a really good backpack. I've found, I don't have it in my inventory right now, but you can get a Murakami backpack that's similar to Araldi Holdings with weapon damage, with health, with vital, with safeguard. I guess this is actually the backpack right here. Could roll that to safeguard. You'll have less health, but it does give you that 8% health roll. So if you have different gloves or a different mask and you don't have Murakami anywhere else, that can be another good option. Now, as far as your specialist goes, obviously you want to run Demolitionist. That gives you 15% submachine gun damage. And there's also this talent that works really good in PvP. Let me show you it. I forget what it's named. It's down here. It's called Crisis Response. When your armor is reduced to 0, it refills all of your main weapon ammo. And basically, once they almost kill you, they're going to be really upset because now your magazine is just refilled and you're doing an insane amount of damage, and you should be able to out-heal their damage. It works really good. And potentially this can proc. There's no cooldown on this right now. I expect this to get nerfed, but this can proc over and over. If you're healing into your armor and then they're dropping your armor into your health, it reloads your magazine instantly. And then if you heal over your armor and they drop it back down into your health, it does it again. So you could potentially, in a perfect situation, never have to reload your gun. and kill multiple people, which is pretty awesome. I've never had it happen like that. I've heard stories, the myths, the legends, and I've still never had it happen where I can just sit there and shoot hundreds of rounds with never reloading. But I have had it proc a couple of times, which is nice. So definitely use that. There's really only a couple of important things on the demolition skill tree, and that's your submachine gun damage and your crisis response. So if you're new to the talents, just level those up first. Those are the most important. And then there's other stuff you can read that's also kind of cool. As far as skills go, I highly recommend you use your chem launcher for your heal, and then the choice of either the riot shield, which you can use. It's called the Crusader ballistic shield. You can use this with any primary gun. It's actually really good with this. You can't sprint with it out, but you have pretty decent mobility. You also can't swap shoulders, which kind of sucks. But it's great. It saved me a lot of times. It's got 200,000 health base, which is not too bad. And if you just hit Q again, or whatever E or Q that you have it on, it'll put it away, and your cooldown will be saved. You can pop it back out whenever you want, and then sprint or whatever. Really good. Now, if you're going up against one-shot snipers, you're going to want to pull out your drone defender. The defender drone, it doesn't have high health, so if they shoot it, it's going to die. But chances are, if they try to shoot you, this thing's going to just stop all the damage. I've shot at someone with this defender drone, not knowing that it was out, with my submachine gun. Literally unloaded the entire magazine into them and didn't do a single damage. It's pretty ridiculous. So if you ever see these above anybody, make sure you shoot them first. And this is a saving grace to try to push those one-shot snipers. Last night I was playing against a group of like 4 of them, and it was frustrating. But that will be your saving grace. As far as any other skills, I don't think anything else is really worth using right now. But let me know. Don't forget to comment below, like the video, subscribe, check me out live, twitch.tv/Inigo Montoya. I hope you guys enjoyed this new updated video. Let me just go over my stats again real quick here. We've got basically 25,000 health, 155,000 armor. We are running 59 crit chance right now. We only have base 25 crit damage, 55 headshot damage. Then we've got 12% all weapon damage bonus. We've got assault rifle bonus, so if you do use an assault rifle, that's nice. Somehow I have LMG damage. Oh yeah, that's from the specialization. Then we got 32% submachine gun. This is really important. So total, we've got 44% all submachine gun damage bonus, which is quite nice with this. And yeah, it's pretty sweet. I do have armor on kill on my mods. I recommend having 1 slot of armor on kill. Just to, after you kill someone, it pops your armor up just a little bit. It doesn't show in the sheet, but I do have that. And I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out my other videos. And I'm really excited for World Tier 5 on Friday.